A lot of people are afraid to say this, but I'm not. The Bible has better stories than any reality show. And if you disagree, you're not reading your Bible. Hi, my name is Jackie, and I am the Abundant Life Guru, where I talk all things beauty, Bible, and money. Let's get into the fifth installment of Jacob and his kids. We're talking about the story of Joseph right now, where a lot of people talk about how he went from the pit to the palace, but let me break it down to you. I just want to say you never know how your story is going to end. So, to recap, Joseph's brothers threw him in the pit. He was then sold into slavery and he ended up in Potiphar's house. Potiphar was like the chief, like under Pharaoh. So, he did well. God was with him while he was at Potiphar's house. And he prospered in everything that he did, so much so that Potiphar made him the chief over his land. God will show you favor in unexpected situations. So here's where it gets juicy. Because he was a fine young man, a fine, handsome man in form and in appearance, Potiphar's wife went after him. She longed for him. And he just kept turning her down. He was like, no, you cute and all, but my master, you're my master's wife. You're my master's wife. And I'm not going to do that to him. How would that look on me? She wanted him so bad one day that she cornered him and grabbed onto his garment as he was running out of the house. She ended up keeping the garment, and when her husband came home, she said, "Oh my gosh, he tried to me." Then Potiphar threw him in jail. But do you know you can't keep a good man down because he found favor in jail? How you found favor in jail? Needless to say, the Pharaoh needed a dream interpreted, and Joseph was able to interpret the dream. Then he obtained favor in Pharaoh's house. Pharaoh then put him in charge of Egypt, took him out the jail, put him in charge of all the land. God was with him even then, and he knew that the land was going into a famine, and he began to store up. He stored up enough for 7 years. So here is the other juicy part. Oh, you got to hear this. So Joseph's brothers came from the land of Canaan to buy food. They traveled all the long way. Everybody went but Benjamin. So they get there. Joseph recognizes them, but they don't recognize him. Joseph tells them, "You are spies. I know you're spies. You came to the land to be a spy." He's like, "No, I just want food." So he ended up, one of the brothers had to stay and be jailed. And they sent the others back with the money that they gave him, filled their sacks with grain, and they had to bring the youngest brother Benjamin back. Now the T is he wanted to see Benjamin because that is the only full blood sibling that he had. Because remember, his mother died in childbirth when she was having Benjamin. So that was his blood brother. That was Rachel's child. Jacob, whose name is now Israel, concocted another scheme. He was like, "Well, let's smooth him over. Give him some spices, give him some more, bring them a gift, bring all the money and just smooth things over so you can get more grain from them. And so we can get Simeon back home. And so Benjamin can return." To make a long story short, they go back into the land. Joseph sees his brother, Benjamin, and he almost starts crying. He had to like go off to the side, wipe his eyes, all those things. They had a feast, but they still don't know that that's his brother yet. So this time, he still lets them keep all the money, still lets them keep everything, and they send them back home. Joseph concocted a plan. He said, "I'm going to put a silver cup in the sack of Benjamin, so then he can be forced to stay." He does that, sends him on his way, then sends his messengers after him and said, "Do you repay evil with good?" And they begin to search his stuff and found out the silver cup was in Benjamin's bag, and he kept Benjamin. So now everybody's like, "No, no, no, take me, please. My father will die if I do not bring Benjamin back." Now, what I forgot to tell you is while all this drama is unfolding, like prior to all of this, the brothers were talking amongst themselves like, "Oh my gosh, maybe this is going on because we killed our brother." And Reuben's like, "I told you don't kill him. I told you." And Joseph overheard it. Now they think Joseph is Egyptian and don't speak their language, but he understood. So in the back of his mind, he knew Reuben really did not want to kill him or sell him into slavery. Needless to say, we're back at the point where Joseph is ready to reveal himself. He couldn't take it anymore. He just wanted his brothers to acknowledge him. He wanted to see his father. So he's like, it is me. It is Joseph. It's the brother that you tried to kill, but I love you anyway. And the Lord favored me in this time. Go, bring your kids, bring your grandkids, bring our father here, and I will give you the best land. Pharaoh told Joseph, bring your father and everybody, and I'm going to give you the best land. So he told, once Pharaoh found out that that was his family, and he said, bring everybody to Egypt. Tell your brothers, bring all their belongings, all their wives, all their children, and bring your father, and you will have the best land out here. He even told them, never mind about your belongings, because the best of all Egypt will be yours. Let us bring this story to a close. Jacob is on his deathbed, and it's time to bless his sons. Now, usually the first son gets the double in the inheritance, right? This is what happened. He tells him, Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, the first sign of my strength, excelling in honor, excelling in power, turbulent as waters. You will no longer excel, for you went up onto your father's bed, on to my couch, and defiled it. Now what Reuben did was sleep with his father's concubines behind his back, and he thought he didn't know. Now we have Simeon and Levi. He gives their characteristics. He talks about how they're men of violence, and he basically curses them too. And then there is Judah. Your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons will bow down to you. You are a lion's cub, Judah. You return from the prey, my son. Like a lion, he crouches down. Like a lioness, who dares rouse him? Zebulun will be like a seashore, and he'll become a haven for ships. His border will extend towards Sidon. Issachar is a raw-boned donkey lying amongst the sheep pens. He must submit to forced labor. Dan will provide justice for his people. As one of the tribes of Israel, Dan will be a snake by the roadside, a viper along the path. So during this time, he doesn't really pronounce good things to anybody but Judah, Benjamin, and Joseph. But that ends up bringing this story to a close. Now, this isn't the end for the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel, but this is just the beginning. Stay tuned for my next installment. Like, follow, and share. Talk to you soon.